Hello and welcome to another match review, another episode of Matanda Fan Vlog. Back again with the one and only Rapelang Mutlou. Mfana Tabiso to Rab, what's up, Mfana?
I am not the Khensani.
Obvious, I'm not. Ke bona tweet ya hao Montare ke social kilo bona o lady ke re bona o tse are o nya go jala pele tla kama ke dijo wena Rapela o re fixture o nya ka mota jele
Aza I never shoot preview Tabiso like ne ke lo confident about this game mara as soon as game into Apple challenge so about 2 hours 1 hour before kickoff that's all tsolo qala lo tsoa mara I more win the fun against Pirates.
Yeah, reason I don't want to lie to you. The only time Pirates and Kizan never goal of us for some strange and crazy reason. Kiva never said that the Pirates goal of us. Marago Orlando, I'm always confident. That's why early draw, okay, I'm disappointed, but like I'm so used to winning Stadium. Like we've only lost one game, Air Mango, last season in probably 9 or 10 years. The last time we lost, I think we lost the NetBank Cup, 2011, if I'm not mistaken, 2011 or 2012. No, Bison Asofil. Kind of skins, I think.
Oh, MTN 8.
That's not the bank. MTN 8, yes. Yeah. That was the last time we lost. And then Randuza happened last season. So, and I remember that period, 2014 to 2018. We were Pirates home and away for 4 years straight. Exactly. So that's why I wasn't panicking. Like, I usually don't tweet before a game. Margajino, like, I felt it. Delivering more. You win. I mean, this is not Pirates Micho. When Pirates Micho, you know, was tough. Like, Pirates Micho was tough to beat. Like, celebrated the winner Pirates for 2 days. Mara, even now I'm done celebrating.
I know.
It's just another 3 points.
It was expected for us to win.
And I think most people, when about how much like, but it's like, Papinika, Mabani, and I think people don't apply context to things because, okay, Benia was top of the table, but what does context say? Context says he's top of the table. They did 3 more games than us. We 50 points, 26 games. Renata 24, 51. So it tells you who's in control of this thing. And last week, it will only be a title race once we are equal on games. And until we are equal on games, it will be a title race. But for now, it's still not a title race. I mean, I don't want to speak to Parafine. You know that this team Micho, like there's like a house on fire. And they were beating teams left, right, and center. But until Coach, I always remember when the Coach Pete ran the same race as us before you can talk. Chiefs this season is running the same race as us.
And look at their position in mobile team.
Yes, they're playing Champions League, they're juggling the league. They played in cups even though it's really earlier than we did. But look at the position they are in. Pirates is running the same race as us because whatever Nigeria they are playing today, now we are used to that in our schedule now. Like it's in our system for the past 4 or 5 years. And look at where they are on the table. And look at how they are performing. And look at us. It tells you a different story.
Yeah, and Rona, as much as never travel like South Africa, but still no gonna win at games. And there was a point where we were playing out of the country, and our next game was go Toyand, and we were playing Black Leopards, but still we managed to get the victory. I think Rona, like the experience, like you have said, of playing 5 years in a row, like Champions League. Obviously, you'll consume that experience and use it when you play your local games.
So I'm not gonna. Okay, of course we are happy for the point. This was a must not lose game, but it was actually more of a must win than a must not lose, because you draw and then Benny Ufeta a couple of days on top of the log, and then like all this talk in the media and whatnot, sometimes it gets to the players, especially those who are not experienced enough. But those who are experienced, they know, they're used to it, they're used to all the talk. And like Miso said, Hore, give Sundowns pressure, like Sundowns thrives under pressure. Like we thrive under pressure. But now, I don't really think pressure is out. Like, you can see it's coming, but like, it's not like isofeed, man. So yeah, I'm happy we won this game so that and just be cool, like relaxing. And now we're not gonna play pressure Benny this, Benny that, because we win our games in hand, then we are okay. You know what I mean? But coming from a lose and a draw, it becomes tricky, because you don't want to lose again or draw again, because we said last week you will start a bad pattern. So yeah, anyway, I'm happy to win Negajem.
Yeah, I'm definitely happy that we have won, and I'm not surprised that we have won. Like, obviously, many fans knew that Sundowns has an advantage, and like Tabso said on the preview, like Sundowns enjoy playing under pressure. Like, we have done it before. It's not like nothing new, and you could see that the boys didn't panic against Orlando Pirates. So it shows like the experience that we have had during all of this season. It comes as an advantage to us.
Yeah, that's true. Were you happy guys starting lineup sang Nagajan?
Saron.
Yeah, forgive me.
Because of now on my starting lineup, I had Serino instead of Kemet, but because of he was out because of an injury, I couldn't complain, because of Kemet was the best guy to replace Serino.
And I hope like you didn't go in the last week, midweek.
I think you're not sure since I can't feel away.
Nah, to be honest with you, like I would, I would cut that front three. Yeah, Shalili, Mchichi, Lekemit, and you saw Horiman. Mchichi didn't look like he. It didn't look like he had a heavy burden of creating Erasmus Alipeng, because he occupies the defender so much. Mchichi navigate easier than usual.
Yeah, no, true. And Mchichi, he can drop too deep and collect those balls, and he knows whenever he collects the ball, he has two players in front of him, which is Shalulile and Kemet up front. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you still have Aubrey and Capello giving you the width to really stretch that defense. But I saw someone posted a picture they took of the TV screen, and Pirates
seven.
No, it was the entire team. Yeah, it was 7 in the box and 3 just on the edge. And I was like, like just 10. Or you can even count the goalkeeper. How about that goalkeeper? It was actually 8 players in their own box.
Yeah.
And then I think that's what made me relax. Or give one who no, the team require better. But do you also think we had an advantage out of Pirates? It took them 2 days to travel back from Nigeria to.
No, like Pirates, they have a big squad. They should manage. They shouldn't complain. We used to travel, and it forced us to rotate some of the players. So they are forced. They want to compete go Africa, so you have to adjust. You can't complain. If we win a trophy, you don't complain about we had to travel this and that. But when you lose, you shouldn't complain because of you want to compete amongst the best of the best. So they should adjust. If they are forced to rotate, they can rotate. So I don't think for them it was a disadvantage because of they still had players who didn't play go Nigeria. So they should have brought them at least.
Oh yeah. I was happy. I was happy when Mudiba started, and then not that I was happy that Lyle is not starting. No, because like that left back spot, there's so much competition because when Mudiba plays, he does well. It's not like he's our standout performer or whatnot, but he does well. Like he does fairly well, even if it's not enough to take Lyle out of the team completely, but it's enough to say, oh, okay, you see why he's starting. And I think it also increases the hunger in Lyle. And also, I think Mudiba has like certain qualities that Lyle and not on because Oga level some of the balls Mudiba loses is because Anya got the safe pass. He wants to risk.
Yeah.
He wants to risk. And I think sometimes like if a balance, sometimes you have a player who will risk and like for certain games, because the margins are so like fine, like it's fine margins who in a game. So sometimes like it takes one risky pass to win the game.
And speaking of risk, there was a moment where Pirates, most of their players were on the left hand side, and we won the ball fast, and Mkhulisi had the ball, passed it to Maposa, and because of Pirates, they had a lot of numbers on the left. Maposa should have capitalized on that space, but he wanted to play a more he didn't want to play a safe pass like you have said. He wanted to play a pass that he knows that will break Orlando Pirates' defense. And unfortunately, Pirates won the ball, but they didn't attack. So it shows there are differences between Lyle and Maposa, and also they give you something different. With Lyle, you have a set piece specialist, and with Maposa, you have someone who's more comfortable on the ball, who can emulate players, who can play those 1-2 and run to the spaces behind the opponents.
Yeah, that's 100% true. And I think we control the game from start until there was that period after we scored where Pirates was more dominant. Local level ball possession stats on they kind of favor Pirates, and I think it's because of that moment between our first goal and our second goal. It forced them to attack us. So, this thing, in terms of domination, I've seen talk there's no people who will say Sundowns dominated the game, but Abakora, and I'm like, so you wait for us to maybe not win a game and say dominance without goals is useless. There are days where things will work your way, and then there are days where things just won't. You do everything right, and things might not go your way. So it happens. You can apply yourself as hard as you do, but it's not all the time that things will happen for you. So look at in the first half, it was my first half was boring. It was a yawn fest. Especially if you were neutral watching that game, must have been such an ISO. Mararena because with two eyes, one Yahuri or level is and you want to go and every time we have the ball, you feel like we might do something, and then one eye, really give me it for the But still, as boring as it was, we dominated without really penetrating Pirates, without really having clear-cut chances. It was the half chance, which has been a story of the previous 3 games, certainly since we beat Pirates for 1. 3-4 games we played. it was a story of half chances because le Ramaphosa I dladileng and Mchishi our timer jumping high copper post and then like evade Mayela. And I think if Mchishi like kept his eye on the ball, he was gonna probably get a chance. Even if he was gonna hit it wayward, but he would have gotten a chance. But all in all, I think first half, like hey fella, only then I was like, yeah, no, like this game is boring. Like it's really, really boring. Only in the second half, I think we did well. And I think even Le Blesser, his man of the match, came from his second half performance because he played so well.
Yeah, true. Like first half, like you've said, it was a boring game to watch first half. But second half, everything's changed. I think second half, Pirates, what they did good is that they didn't want to give us like enough spaces in the midfield. Hence, their midfield was packed. Hence, Aubrey managed to get those chances wide. I think most of the chances first half we created on the side Aubrey Diba, but second half I think we started playing very well. And on the 40th minute there was a where Zwane dropped deep and collected the ball and passed Shalule inside the box. Shalule protected the ball and he fell, but still he managed to give Zwane the ball. But unfortunately, Nyauza came on the right time and kicked the ball outside. So if Lena, after seeing that, I thought second half we are going to see more of that. But second half, the first 10 minutes, like but immediately after we got the goal, everything started to change. They were forced to react and get the equalizer, and hence they were forced to change even the approach of the game because of they were too defensive and they were just picking the midfield. But after conceding goal, it forced them to go out and look for the equalizer, and that's where Sundowns will punish you.
Yeah, that's true. And even the penalty Pirates got, I've seen those type of penalties not given. I think we were lucky because of how horrible. It sounds like it's a broken record. Where like most of the time we'll say the referee was horrible, but you can't really point out one referee in this country where this is a good referee. Like it's always you always have to choose the lesser evil. You always have to say, okay, this one is not good, but he's better than the rest. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But I think the officiating was horrible because there were some clear tackles. The guy like Nadi and let the game play and even a penalty area. Like I think on another day or if it was any other referee, we wasn't gonna give them penalty.
Yeah, and I feel that the inconsistency in the PSL games, like, and some of these teams, they lose because of the referees' decisions. Like, look at the game here, Stellenbosch against Maritzburg. Like the referees sometimes will wanna, I get they I'm not sure, man, when they give those calls, like they just maybe they predict or what, but like. But I wanna go extra time Mr. Spot on Rutlo, but now keep penalty for ya I'm happy we have won shit.
Yeah, and then we started playing much better. Like he gave to Barca, not that it wasn't giving us anything, but Gift brought a different dimension. Because another thing is that I think Gift is probably fitter than Kemet. Okay, most players are fitter than Kemet because Kemet fitness is higher. I say 90 minutes. Like Kemet will give you a good cameo. And another thing is that Gift is more of a grafter and he can press more than Kemet. Like less stamina, I think he has more stamina than Kemet. I watched Gift last season. Nedbank Cup when Vets knocked Pirates out. I think Gift. What the second half? Or did he play 90 minutes? I forgot. But like in the extra time, he was the best player on the pitch. So I think Liana Hatena, like he actually changed the complexion of game ill.
True, like and one thing about Gift is that he uses his physique in terms of controlling the ball, or when we play a wall pass to him, he knows how to control the ball, and he knows how to win fouls, and that is very crucial when you have a set pieces specialist on the pitch. And I'm sure that if Kemet was still on the pitch, that second goal Shalulile scored because of Kemet na pressa Tyson like Mutupa did. Kemet na Mokwela Tyson have the ball and stand in front of him, but Mutupa puts pressure on the defense. You remember against Kaizer Chiefs where he won the ball Kumato, and referee blew the whistle for a foul. So that's what gift gives you when the opponents have the position.
That's true. And to have a grafter like Gift and have a player who's also a grafter in Peter, and Peter also, he plays so well with his back to goal. Like, he plays so well because hold the player high. Like, I think it gives us so much options. And Oliver Lily, how one of Lebo or Blesser joins the front three in attack, hey, hold the up ball. Like, it gives us so many options. Like, because maybe it's either Tapelo or Shapathman run or it's Fishy or whoever. And I think it gives us so many options, and that's why we score so many goals here, whether they're scored by him or by another person. I was hoping Hore, the chance that fell to Mabuwe when we were leading 3-0, thinking Kuma like from that counter. I was hoping that chance fell to Gift. Like, I think for performance against Chiefs later, he deserves a goal, man. And I think he deserves like a tap in just to, like get your first goal for the team and your confidence. But I think with the performances and lead the way, like the coaches speak about him, but it's showing Hori, he's been working hard. Like hard work, like it never hides itself. And I think that's what's happening at Gift. And it's happening at the right time because we are at the business end of the league. It's like 5 games, and we are going into the quarterfinals against a tricky Al Ahly team. Not as strong as they were the past 3 years, but they're still tricky. And the way we are so confident that our experience here of winning the league, that's how they are at the Champions League. So I'm happy with Gift is performing the way he's performing. You promise him Kuma is performing the way he's performing.
Yeah, no, and this is a stage where you need your best players fully fit, and you have said like you are still going to play CAF Champions League quarterfinals, and you know there is that more the fixture gets more congestion, and obviously some players will still get some knocks, and they will forced to be out in certain games, and that's where you need the guys like Bobum Tupa to come in and give the impact, whether coming from the bench or starting the game. But so far, like I'm happy with the 3 previous games that Tupa has played.
Same here. We can go into the player ratings. Another broken record thing to say. Dennis didn't have much to do.
Yeah, I can't remember like having to stretch, or it was just those routine saves in terms of catching the balls from corner kicks, or Pirates trying to play that long ball behind our defense. Like he didn't have much to do in this game. So now I'd give him a 5 because of he didn't have much to do. Shane. You were just there to kick the goal kick in JFL.
Yeah, today, Lena, it wasn't, he was just there, Lena. He didn't do much. More on the ball in the first half, but in the second half, no. There wasn't much from him. I think Taperoli and a 5.
Yeah, no, that Tapelot really deserves it. And it was a moment where I thought if Pirates equalizes, their goal is going to come from Tapelo Morena's side because of like Marco was pushing forward and was putting a lot of pressure on Tapelo. And some of times Tapelo wouldn't apply pressure to him, like he would react after Marco already has a ball. So I think 5 he really deserves 5.
Yeah, I agree. Ricardo Nascimento, I thought the Rug was gonna play today, but when I saw Nascimento, like I wasn't worried, I wasn't bothered. And Elena, I think he had a good performance. That also scored his penalty. When was the last time he took a penalty? Has he taken one this season?
Against TTM Olatswa, he did had good penalty shootout, but I can't remember when was.
So the last one he took Nelika Gemia Leopards, like the last game of the season, the one he missed.
Yeah.
The one and only penalty he missed. And actually I wanted Kumba to take it. But because Nascimento was there, he took it. You know what? It was a good performance from him. Well taken penalty. But like yeah, but like there was I was so nervous had a penalty. I didn't even celebrate a penalty. Like I was so nervous. Like I was so nervous. I was like, oh my god! And one person just step up and make sure. And Nascimento did that. I think he had a good performance. I think 0.5.
Yeah, no, like he played very well. And before the game, we knew that we are going to have position. And looking how Pirates picked their midfield, it is important when you have a guy like Nascimento who's not afraid to push up with the ball, and also who is good in terms of like passing the ball to our midfielders, whether Blesser when he comes deep to collect the ball or Rivaldo. So I think he did very well. And like this season, he hasn't been regular after we signed the Rook, but you can see that he still has that class in him.
Yeah, that's true. Especially like in the first half when we were trying to dictate times. Yeah, like I think they applied themselves so well. And Libusa Lena, he had a very good performance, especially in the first half, because there were times where Bergen Hoto would try to take advantage of the fact that Maposa has pushed up and he would want to be in that space, leave Sindbule, but they didn't get much out of it. Libusa Lena, like he was, and Libusa, like ever since he got Sundowns, he's been like the coaching at Sundowns has really improved him. His passing has improved so well. I know we speak about Nascimento's passing, but Libusa as well. Like Lena, his passing has improved so much since he got Sundowns. I think Libusa 5.5.
Yeah, no, like it's sharp 5.5.
Maposa.
Maposa, his performance was decent compared to the last time when we played Orlando Pirates, go Nedbank Cup. And I think there were some instances where I thought he should have done better, or like in the final third, or his final ball could have been better in terms of knowing when to pass or knowing when to push with the ball and wait for a certain player to position himself in the right way. So I think I'd give him between 5 and 5.5 really.
Yeah, I hear you. I think maybe 5. I think 5. His final ball wasn't as crisp as it should have been, but all in all, I think it was a decent performance. Rivaldo, what did you make of his performance?
Like Rivaldo, he'll give you this performance for the season because of one thing he does is just basics. Like Rivaldo never attempt to do something fancy. Like he only opens for the ball, pass the nearest players. If there's a player running up front, then he goes for the long ball. Or if our fullbacks are overlapping, he goes for that diagonal ball. So I think he was as decent as Maposa. And I think he played very well. Like in terms of linking up with our number 8. I think they did defensively, he did very well. So I'll give him 5.5 for that.
Yeah. Lebo Mabu, I'm not really sure what to make of his performance. Would have been nice for him to get a goal, but he fluffed it. Yes. But the overall performance, I really don't know what to make of it. I get shocked. Like, I'm not sure if he did well or not. Like, I really don't know.
Yeah, no, I think he had a quiet game. He's not Lebo that we know of, that he bosses the middle field, like he uses his strengths and he take those risks in terms of penetrating between the middle fielder. So I think that opportunity he got towards the end of the game, I think he scored that goal before it went in. Like he should have just kept calm and passed the ball into the net. And Sundowns, like, he was nowhere near the ball, so he should have had an easy tap in. But I'd give him a 4.5. I'd give him a 4.5.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think Blesser had a very good second half. He was so good in the second half. He was so good in the second half. And I think not for the first time, but like for once in a while, I agreed with whoever was judging man of the match. I think Blesser was the best player on the pitch. He was so good in the second half. And you know what's funny? Pirates, like, it was so clear we were gonna beat them because also the substitutions they made are so hilarious because Pule was and Mabasa. Okay, at least it gives you a different dimension because now you have Hoto, Pule, Bergen Hoto, Mabasa, and Makaringi. I think Makaringi was playing further forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mikkel Raibona Pirates. But when Mako came out, Onokitsibongani Sam, I forgot who he took out for Gabadinho Mango. But the substitutions are Zimbabwe. That's so hilarious. Unsa like for like the guy. Like Unsa left back, Unsa left back. Like if the game is not going your way, why Unsa full back? Like what are you trying to do? Like Unsa full back. Like
and
yeah.
you are chasing the game. You are playing at home. Like you should respond better in terms of playing offensive players who gonna push for that equalizer. But if you're gonna substitute a leg for a leg, that means you still gonna, the player who comes in is still gonna give you the same thing that the player who went out gave you. So he won't he won't bring out that change or change the game better.
In any way, yeah. Or unless like Unsa one midfield or Mango or whatever, I would understand. So
Yeah.
I'm saying this to go to the point there, Hore. At one point, I was thinking, maybe Aganta, one of the midfielders, Sonokela Zungu, because Zungu like is a much better passer of the ball, and he advances the ball forward more than most midfielders or Pirates, and he has a very good pass on him. I thought maybe like only then, Clara, maybe I'll see if Blesser is really having a good game, but he didn't. Like Untite left back for left back, forward for forward, and so on. So. He really made the game easy for us, and especially we didn't have to exert ourselves so much. Like we didn't really sweat for that win. Like 90 minutes, our players just fell on the floor. Like, I think we are still a bit fresher for the game here midweek. So yeah, I think when the season ends, for whoever nominates midfield of the season, if they don't have Blesser, Rivaldo, Goodman Mosele, Tipombul, then they must forget. I think midfield of the season is between those guys. But bless her, man. Mfanola has really found his feet at Sundowns, and he's forced his way into the starting lineup, and he's undroppable. Like, he's really undroppable. And I like how they've put him in the role that he's playing in for us, and they don't overthink things. Hardlala against certain teams. I'm hoping even when we play Al Ahly, they do the same thing and don't overthink it and say, hey, we might need more experience. Manogala, Jali, Tompo, Rivaldo, like, things this simple. The boy is playing so well. Anyway, I will rant about Blessa and Libe if I put 12 with you. So I'll give him an 8 for game again.
Yeah, no, like I agree with you. Like, he played very well, especially first half. Like, second half, all he did was to come in the midfield, pass sideways. But when the second half came, he collected the ball, he started running with the ball, he started combining with Msheshi, Peter, Mutupa up front. So, like, second half, he played very well. Like, he really deserved a 8.
Yeah. You were saying before we started recording, the performance at all it needed was a goal.
Yeah. All was missing from today's game attempt. It was just a goal. Like Temba, there are games where he knows where to take the gear up. There are games where he just being the normal Temba in terms of collecting the ball, being slow, trying to control the tempo of the game. I think this game he knew that he didn't have to do everything by himself because of there's still Kemet, there's still Peter, and there's still our 2 number 8 who can help us offensively and defensively. So he had a good game, but all was missing is just an assist or a goal from him.
Yeah. What rating would you give him?
I'd give him a 6, a 6.5.
6.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a fair rating for him. Really was back today. Actually, we really missed this guy against Arrows. We really missed him against Chiefs as well. I think Peter, I'll give him a. Oh, even the goal he scored, he took that goal so well. I was thinking, if he doesn't score this goal, I was gonna scream so much. Why are you not just putting it across Mchichi? I finish, but I think that's what the striker does. That finish was so cheeky because Udire Sandilens Amisa Kamo and then put the ball back, go Sandilens Otlahang. So no goalkeeper was gonna save it. I was so happy performance high from he occupied Nyauza from the first minute at until the last minute. Like, he really and one thing about Chaluli I like is that you can see these guys are so good in what they're doing here. That Leonard Tyson, when we beat them in the Nedbank Cup, made him we benefited from his mistake. They forced a mistake out of him. And people think maybe these guys just mistake prone, but these guys are really yeah, they force him to use type of mistakes, the way because that's why about it, you defend from the top, and that's what we do. And I think I loved seeing it. It looks so good. I'm gonna give Shalulile a 7.5 for today's performance.
Yeah, no, he played very well. And one thing about Shalul is that he chases for everything. He chases for every ball. And when Shalul is in the pitch, there's no time for the defense and the opponents to rest because of once you drop the ball, he's there to close you down. So I think that helps us a lot because of the backlines of the opponent. They are forced to keep the ball up front, or they're forced to make the mistake. So I think he's done very well, and also he scored a brilliant goal. So he deserves. You give him 7.8, 7.5.
7.5, yeah.
Yeah, it's sharp, it's sharp.
Yeah. There was a moment, the second half, where Mutupa won the ball. I think who was playing right back? Yeah, wasn't Glue.
Yeah, it was. Huh?
Yeah,
Yeah, it
Pirates.
wasn't Glove. Yeah.
There was an instance more Mutupa winning ball in that corner, and then I pass Mshishi, and then Mshishi I found
Oh,
Shalili
a sharp
bicycle
bicycle
kick.
kick.
When it happens on a bicycle kick, how quick he stood up and went well back to his position. I was like, oh my god, if I'm a defender, like that would be so demoralizing. But before it, like these people, like my leader and this guy is still so committed to whatever game. Like I love his sense of agency, like and the energy in the team is different than Pete Adler this season. It actually scares me. It seems like we are playing through him. Happy that thing, like we look lost sometimes.
Yeah, no, and he always keeps the defense worried, even if sometimes he doesn't score, but you know that the opponent, like they are worried because of, they know they are facing up with Peter Shalule, and that pace and his hold up play, as much as his physique is not as big compared to young people, but he knows how to protect the ball, and he knows how to pass the players who are coming to support him. So you have already rated him.
Yeah, Kumuriti is 7.5. You can rate Kemet.
Kemet, I'll give him a 5.
A 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kemal on a 5 here. How? I'm happy when we have Shaludile and Kemet. Like Sundowns has a goal when those two are playing. We have a goal. From the Chiefs game to Stellenbosch to Amazulu, we have a goal when those two are on the pitch. And I think his injury actually derailed us so much. But how gift like changed the game so much as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, gift performance against Chiefs, performance like he has like he played lesser, but he took it up a notch from where he left off the Chiefs, and he bothered the defense so well. And I actually wouldn't. It might sound crazy, but I might start the next game. Mutupa Sharudi Mshishi. Or because Mshishi sometimes the performance is not where it needs to be. But the thing is that like Kamba is really still a bit undroppable in the team. You can say okay, some games, okay, you'll drop Kamba, Serino, it's understandable. And I think, can you imagine the type of damage we can do with Renale Mutupa, Shalulile, and Serino, and you can still bring on Kemet and Kamba from the bench. You know, it actually bothers me, Hurry, we are not in the Nedbank Cup final when I think of these things. But it's okay. I think I'm gonna give Mutupa 7.
Yeah, no, like he had a huge impact coming from the bench, and this is the impact that Kemet used to give us when he used to come from the bench, and he won us a foul that resulted into a beautiful free kick. He played very well, and one thing about Gift, when he has the ball, you are forced to foul him because he knows how to protect the ball. Like he knows how to get those fouls. So I think, yeah, he did very well. He did very well.
Yeah, and I remember I forgot who I was talking to today. You know, you must have those type of players who can win you penalties and free kicks. And I remember the penalty Villa won Baroka 2 seasons back, and we beat Baroka 1-0. And like I think in the third game of the season or something. You need those players who are so smart and know how to win you the set piece in like the right areas. And I think gift play and like what you mentioned is very crucial. Another person like who came from the bench and did well, Lyle. Lyle has so many goal contributions this season.
Yeah, no, one would think Lyle is still playing as a left wing or he's playing at an offensive position, and he's just a left back.
Yeah,
He came on, he played very well, and when he came on, advantage goal we were dominating the game, and we've already done the damage. So he did very well. He came in, he scored a beautiful goal. I'll give him a 6. I'll give him a 6.
a 6, ne?
Yeah,
I was trying to look at his stats. Season, he played 31 games and he has 11 goal contributions. I think that's not bad for a left back. That's not bad
yeah,
for a left back.
yeah,
Really, really not
yeah.
bad. Yeah. Happy rating, yeah. How? Who else came on? Mvala, Le, Promise Mkuma. Mvala didn't do much. Mkuma, he added a bit of a spark because there was a ball that we won like on the left hand side, and he beat and he was in a one-on-one, and I forgot who it was. I don't think it was Ben Mutwari. I don't know who it was. And like at Homa, I think he initiated like counter attacks on Panola Hazel. There was that one, and then there was the one Mabu Messi thing. He could have easily had an assist off the bench if it wasn't for Leo.
Yeah, no. And what I liked when he won that ball, he pushed forward. He pushed forward with the ball, and when he arrived around the box, he slowed down his pace, looking for Maboe or Mvala on the other side, and he didn't rush to unleash the pass. So I think he did well in terms of his decision making, and I think he should have an assist if in a Maboe.
I think Mvala, I'm not gonna rate him. I don't think there was enough for him to get a rating, but I think Promise, I think that was a good 4.5 off the bench. That was a good 4.5 off the
Yeah,
bench.
no, yeah, and I hope finally he's ready because of I think there's a certain game he's going to start, and I think is used to coming from the bench. Mkuma Fandaku starting, be ready and have that mentality why Bonta ha from the bench.
Yeah. Like those are the only ones who came off the bench, ne?
And Breno Yango.
Oh, Breno Yango as well. Breno Yango, and I'm gonna give him a 4.5 only because of that moment when I wanted to be involved in the goal.
Well, if a defender is pushing forward looking for a goal, what will the opponent do last nation? What will the opponent do last? Why defender but what the opponent go
Yeah, but I think I'll rate the coaches for today. I think the Tofali coach, I'm gonna give them a solid 9 out of 10. Kajino. Like I think they did everything right, Kajino. Their starting lineup was perfect. Their subs were on, and Linako, everything the sub guy on was good. I'm happy everything they did today. I don't think they put a foot wrong. It's crazy to say that and then give them a 9, but I think we mustn't be too excited and give them a 10. Like they must work for it. Yeah, I think we'll give them a 9. Yeah, I think that's it. That's it until
Yeah, and one thing what they did good is that Rivaldo had a yellow card, and after yellow card was involved in many fouls, and I'm happy that they took him out and they brought in Mval. And I saw your tweet meeting, they should take him out and bring Andy Lejano. So I think they did very well by taking him out and avoiding a serious suspension. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. We're really gonna need Rivaldo now. Like we're playing Maritzburg Wednesday, ne? Wednesday.
Yebo. Ka di-five le Wednesday, yeah.
Kajeno ke di 2 kajeno. Yeah, the 5 Wednesday. So yeah, I think we beat Maritzburg. We should beat Maritzburg at home. They shouldn't bother us.
Yeah.
They shouldn't bother us. I think we beat Maritzburg, and if we beat Maritzburg, we're only 54 points, I guess.
Yeah, we're on 51. If we win, we're on
4 with 12 points to play for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're going to win a league at 62 points. And I don't think Amazulu is going to reach 60 points. I think the most they can do is 59 points. But I think Amazulu might fit 56. But when 50, no, I think they might win. They might win a game thing, either Pirates or Baroka, and then draw the last 3.
They will draw game Baroka. About playing Baroka towards the end of the league, yes. Lucas Masterpiece when we drew 2-2 Leon. Playing Baroka in that stage, yeah.
It's dangerous.
They're different teams. Yeah,
they're different teams. So I think it sounds crazy because they're 50 points, but I think Benny will fit like 56. I think the best he can do is 59, and I think Renato will win a league at 63 points, 62 or 63, somewhere more. But I would be happy to take it at 66. But I honestly feel like we might take the league 62 points. But anyway, I think it should be done. Like we beat Maritzburg, and then all the pressure is gone. We beat Maritzburg, all the pressure is gone. Easy.
Knowing against Maritzburg, it should be a convincing win. Like we should go out and take the game to Maritzburg and get the win. And I want us to keep the clean sheet again.
That's me right there. Keep. Oh yes, Dennis kept clean sheet number 15.
15 or 14?
No, I think he might be close to record. I think he might actually catch it. He might either match it. I think he might either match it or come one shot. Mara, if we keep a clean sheet against Maritzburg, I think we might not concede until league fail. But yeah, we'll see. But thanks so much, Rapelang. We'll see you guys on Wednesday after Maritzburg. And I think if we beat Maritzburg, pressure is gone. No one is gonna say anything about Amazulu anymore.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
I hope they enjoyed all the attention they got on Saturday. Because that's the last thing they're ever getting.
All right, sharp kids.